Welcome back to Dad's Foxbody Garage on this cold, wintry Michigan morning. Well, I guess it's afternoon now, isn't it? About 2:30 in the afternoon, Saturday. Went to a swap meet this morning out at Novi Expo out there, and it was a lot of fun. I met my buddy Kevin out there, and we walked around for about 3 hours and picked up a couple treasures. Not a whole lot as far as Foxbody parts go. Saw some armrests, a radio. There were a couple of Explorer intakes out there, but they were priced a little higher than, they were market price and some. I did meet one Foxbody guy out there, a guy that I've been communicating with on Facebook. And actually bumped into a couple people that have purchased some stuff from me, so it was all good. The Foxbody guy I was talking to, we talked a little bit about the GT40 intakes, and told him how I've been hemming and hawing. I think I've owned 3 of them now, and I keep changing my mind about putting them on the Stormtrooper here, and what my reservations were regarding the linkage being different and all that, and not wanting to drive the butterfly pin out of my existing throttle body to put it into the Explorer throttle body, because they're different diameters, right? This is a lot smaller one on the Foxbody than the Explorer throttle body. Because I don't want to wreck anything that's on this car, and I don't want to lose my cruise control. I think it's important to me that if I take something off of this car, like my intake manifold, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm not gonna sell it, because it's pretty much an original engine drivetrain, right? So he was saying that a 93 Cobra throttle body would bolt right up to that Explorer intake, and would hook up to my cruise and throttle cable and everything. So I guess I'm back on the hunt for a nice Explorer intake, or GT40 intake as people call them, for the Stormtrooper here. Not interested in like ragged out stuff, but again, I'm not gonna spend an exorbitant amount of money on it either, because I don't have it. But I did pick up a few things, and my buddy Kevin picked up a few things. My main focus was getting the fuel system reworked on Calypso here. I've been piecing together some parts for that project for a few months now anyways. Almost there. So I decided today I would start by doing something out here, and I drained the fuel out of Calypso into some 5-gallon jugs, and I'm going to unbolt the fuel cell out of the trunk and get that out of there, and then I'm going to start reworking the entire fuel system. So when I first put the fuel cell in, I used Carter fuel pump and Wix inline clear fuel filter, and then I went with 3/8 fuel line all the way to the front, which works. I got the job done. But when I put the fuel cell in, I built a frame for it, and it sits down in the spare tire well. Problem with that was the hole I cut out the size of the sump, but I didn't take into consideration that now that I have that frame in there, it's going to sit higher, and it's not going to be sealed to the environment. So if I like drive in rain, it's going to get water up in there, or I could get exhaust up in there. It's convertible, the top's usually down, right? Sometimes. So not the best situation anyway, is my point. Mistakes were made. Like my other 2 videos, I said, yeah, mistakes have been made. Well, these are my mistakes. Well, that's a mistake I did. So I want to pull the fuel cell out, take the frame out, and do some test fitting of the fuel cell to nest it right on the floor. I want like 0 gap around where that sump comes through and my floor. So once I weld back in some sheet metal underneath the fuel cell, I'll seam seal that area and then nest the fuel cell back in that, and then there will be no more gaps to the outside world, so to speak. And then from there I can start building my fuel system. I'll show you what I have back here. I'm going to keep the Carter pump, which is, you know, under the car here. See it hanging down a little bit. I'm going to keep the Carter pump, but then I have a Fram fuel filter that was donated by Randy. It's one of the chrome with the replaceable cartridge on the inside. I actually have it up here because I was taking it apart to see what the part number was so I could order a new filter and seals. But it's going to be pump, filter, regulator. I'm going to have a gauge in the back so I can set and check my fuel pressure in the back, and then I'm going to have AN line running from the back all the way up front. For the AN line hangers, I'm going to use those rubber insulated. You know, they look like I guess it'd be like a P, the letter P, and then they have the tab. You can screw like a self-tapper up into it. So I'm going to run that along the frame rail and poke out in the side over here through the firewall and snake it over here and hook it up to my feed line. It'll be a lot cleaner install, like I said, and there won't be any more fumes or water or anything getting in the trunk. So that's the figure. Besides lifting the tank in and out of the car, that's pretty doable with one arm. Because like I said, I still have limited strength and movement with the right arm, 5-pound limitation, all that stuff. So that's because of that shoulder surgery I had. So that's going to be a few months on that. But it might not sound like much, but you know, when you're doing stuff with one hand and it's 26 degrees out and it's now snowing, that's a big job. So we're gonna start on that. Like I said, I drain the fuel out, and I'm gonna get going on that. I'll probably unbolt the fuel cell and get the frame out, get the frame loosened up anyways, the fuel cell frame. But that's probably where I'm gonna have to draw the line until I get some help lifting that out. I could probably do some measuring while it's in there, drawing some lines so I know where to add metal and where not to. But it's kind of fun to be back out here again. But it is kind of a pain not really being able to do anything. But they'll come back in time. So I'm gonna get after it. So I'll catch you in a few. Hey guys, we're back. It's been a couple days since we were out here. Had a busy weekend hanging out with my daughter. We were pretty busy. You know, she's 15 now, so we did some driving and did some shopping, and actually went out to one of my old favorite places to go when I was in high school, and that was a place called Rock of Ages, old album store. A lot of fun anyways. So just getting back out here. It's 5:30 Monday, about 25 degrees out, a little bit of snow still on the ground. We're gonna try to get the fuel cell out of Calypso so I can store that in the shed this winter, so I can do some cleanup welding in here, make the install a little bit nicer. I'm gonna mount the fuel cell right down to the floor so the sump hangs below, and get it sealed up so we don't get any fumes up through the hole in the floor. I'll give you a quick look what I did in the beginning. You can see down in here I cut a hole for the sump, which goes back, you know, maybe to like here in the floor, so the sump would have clearance. But then I built a, I can't really see it there, I can't really see it there either, but underneath here I built a frame. Buddy and I, Jason, welded up a frame because we thought it should sit on a frame and be sound and all that, but by doing that I can't seal that hole up in the floor very well. So I'm going to remove the frame, drop the fuel cell all the way down. I'm going to make a couple marks in here where I need to patch in and box in, and go from there. Not going to be a whole lot to see here because I'm going to fire up the big torpedo and aim it right at me because it's freezing out here. And I'm going to get to work, so I'll probably pick the camera back up once I get the fuel cell out. And I do have the gas drained out of it, and it's an aluminum tank. So I'm hoping I can lift it with my left hand, but we will see. If not, it's going to stay there until I can get someone over here to help me. But I'm going to get after it. I'll pick up the camera when I'm done. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. As you can see, here's the frame that I made to support everything. What I did was I beat the center down where the spare tire catch would, you know, it sticks up. So I beat the center down a little bit. Built this frame, and you see I have like rubber insulators in every corner. And I initially just tried to weld it to the floor, but that didn't work out so well. I was burning through the floor. You know, this metal is a little bit thicker than this metal. So now I gotta try to, well, I did end up, you know, bolting it down instead with some big fender washers from the bottom side. So I'm gonna unbolt that frame, try to knock off the welds that did stick. Hopefully that's not too much of a pain in the butt. And then I'm gonna go right to the floor, but I'll probably have to drill out the spot welds for this thing, just get it out of the way, and you know, make the floor a little nicer looking. I guess it's high right here still, but all in all, not terrible. It's just you know, one of those things. It's kind of like once you do something, you look back and you say, oh, that didn't turn out so well, but it got the job done. You know, I drove the car all last summer after getting everything together with the new heads. Now it's just a matter of making that a little bit better. Oh, I wanted to show you something. I don't know if I showed you in the first half of the video, but this carb spacer I picked up at the swap meet. It's 1/2 inch thick, and what I'm gonna do with this is, you know, like I've been saying, I ordered that carburetor without the port in the back for the booster for the brakes. I got this 1/2 inch thick guy, so I'm going to put a 3/8 fuel line, drill and ream, put that fuel line in there. So I only raise my carburetor 1/2 inch, and I think it should clear the hood. Worst comes to worst, I guess I can shim down my K-member 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch or whatever I'm hitting the hood by. But that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna keep working on this. I might pick up later and show you more progress that's done. But right now I'm just anxious to get the garage door closed and get it warmed up in here. Alright, last installment on this video. Spin this around here. As you can see, I got the frame out. Got a couple little boogers of weld to clean up. And I think on this guy, instead of getting stupid and wasting a bunch of time, I'm just going to take the little zip cut here and cut that guy off. And this is my sump hole here. I need to fill in this back section with a little bit of a box. And then I'm going to seam seal here, drop the fuel cell back in. Probably put some sound deadening in here. I do have some, oh, what do you call that stuff? Sound deadener. I can't remember the name of it. The brand. Kill mat. Put some kill mat back here and call it a day, you know, as far as the trunk is concerned. You know, I'm not overly concerned with what the trunk looks like. You know, heck, I'm not overly concerned with what the outside of the car looks like. You know, it's built for moving, not for being pretty. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. One thing I did want to mention was the Mustang Owners Podcast aired today, where I was actually the guest speaker. So please check that out. I'm really excited that I was able to be on that podcast and honored by the Moxham guys. And, you know, I wanted to apologize for not videoing a lot of what I just did. Wasn't a whole lot to see. And to be honest, crawling under a car with like one good arm, it's like a turtle being on his back trying to get out of there. And, you know, trying to lift that out, I probably would have had more success using my feet than one arm. But we got it out. We got it done. Only took about 40 minutes or so. But progress is progress, and that's just the one thing I want to, you know, speak to you guys about is just get out and do something. You know, yeah, it's wintertime. It's Michigan. It is what it is. Oh, here's Shelby in there. He probably wants to eat and barking. But you know, get out and do something, guys. Work on these cars. You know, they're meant to be driven, and I have every intention of having this guy at the Fox Fest and Mustang Memories this year. So please like and subscribe, and again, please visit my website and buy some merch, because without selling merch, you know, this doesn't happen. All right, guys, thanks again. See you in the next one.